Hello again, it's Damon the Global Gardener welcoming you to the Mead Botanic Garden in Orlando, Florida. It's a very, so online it says that it's 47 acres, and the online map also says that the garden we're going to right now is the butterfly garden. And then, so I picked up the map, and the map says, where is it, that it's a hummingbird garden, and the map also says that the entire area is 48 acres, not 47 acres like it says online. So details, huh? So anyway, here is the sign that says Butterfly Garden. This yellow. Try to get it without a shadow so you can see it. There's my shadow. Hello. The Butterfly Garden. I don't even know if you can read it, but it says Garden Butterfly. The two different sides. Okay, very bright, lots of sun in the Sunshine State. And so, interestingly enough, speaking of the Sunshine State and sun, that the butterfly well, we're just going to call it Butterfly Garden because that's what the post says, and that's what it says online. The pamphlet flyer paper map says Butterfly Garden, but it looks sunny. There's some sun squeaking through, but it's covered. It's maybe filtered shade, partial shade, very shady. Other than this beam coming through, it's in the afternoon now, but it's fully tree covered. Otherwise, there's a patch of blue and this ray coming through here, but that's enough for most of these plants. They're sort of understory plants. You can see this pamphlet. I'm gonna put it down. This is TI that grows in Hawaii quite well, and there's some ageratum, the purple flowers. That's a Dracaena. You can see these are like house plants. It's kind of awesome. That's kind of why I like Florida and this climate is house plants grow outside here. But also here's hydrangea. In other climates right now they've lost their leaves up north where it's snowing. What do we have here? It looks like Cana lilies. We can go closer to there, the bigger leafed ones. Oh, there's some variegated ones too. That's cool. And then Ipomea, the purple leaf is a purple leaf. It's an ornamental sweet potato that actually does grow sweet potatoes, and I'm not sure how edible they are. I'm sure they're edible, but I usually grow them in the container boxes in New York City on penthouse terraces, so they're not really something that I would want to eat. Here is the Variegated Canis, and looks like, what is that? Wow, those are weird. Those aren't the normal, is that a ginger? What is that? That might be ginger or turmeric because of the more narrow leaves. That's not a standard leaf for Cana. They have the bigger leaves. And then, what do you suppose this one is? With the thinner, it's not a bird of paradise. It's another kind of monocot. Because you see how the grasses are monocots. They come out with the single stems versus like a dicot, which is some of these that they come off bilaterally on the stem. Here's like is this a shrimp plant? It's kind of in terrible shape right now. The garden is very much volunteer run, and so it's pretty great to have a butterfly garden, although I don't see any pollinators in this area. See various lizards. Ooh, here's a gardenia. It's looking kind of sad. We'll try to get it without that beam coming through there. Sharp Florida sunshine beam. Gardenia, nice. You know, you don't usually see them that tall. You see them in like containers in colder climates, and so it's not flowering season. We're later into November here. A Rebar tunnel here. It's a bit of a tunnel. It's like a double arch with a little bit of a tunnel too, with the neat coming togethers of the welded rebar and the vines growing on it. What are these vines? Oh, they're actually, that's a passion vine. That's cool. I wonder if it's Passiflora edulis with the delicious lilikoi or maracuja, or depending on lilikoi is Hawaiian, maracuja is from Mexico. Different countries have different names for passion fruit. Delicious, delicious passion fruit. Here's a begonia that's gotten pretty large, and also again not flowering because we're in the shade here. If this was full sun, it would need more water or rain and or irrigation, and probably not in Florida. And things would flower more if it was in full sun. There would be more flowers. But here we go. Here's some beautiful color in the shade. Coleus. These are lovely, wonderful. This one's actually all these are pretty fantastic. Look at that. Beauties. And these purple leaves. That's darn incredible. Oh, here we have some flowers. Wow, what is this one? Put in the comments if you know what this one is. That's one thing about this botanic garden and the volunteer portion of it, is that they didn't have a organized way to put the names in of the plants, so they're largely unnamed. And I just know that this is ginger or turmeric because the leaves are narrower than canna lilies. And this could very well be, well, any kind of orchid. I'm hoping it's a vanilla orchid because that's delicious and fun. But we don't know, seeing as how, well, that's in a pot. I wonder if it has I don't see any tag in there of any kind, and still don't see any butterflies in the butterfly garden, even though here's more flowers. This one is more on the edge of where the tree line is, so it's going to get some sun and more flowers. What else do we got in here? Here's a monarch way station. That's good. The monarchs have been down in the U.S. and mostly on the West Coast. Is this a milkweed? This looks like a milkweed. And this is a monarch way station. This site provides milkweeds, nectar sources, and shelter needed to sustain monarch butterflies as they migrate through North America. Certified and registered by Monarch Watch as an official monarch way station. There you go. If you plant milkweed, you can register your site as a monarch way station. I've been talking with my dad a lot. California they were way down in there, and they finally got a few thousand to some of the regular sites. There's several tourist sites where the monarchs would just cover and coat the eucalyptus trees mostly, and redwoods in certain areas, Santa Barbara, Pacific Grove. There's several different, those are definitely way stations. Here I don't know that a few milkweeds is considered a way station, but according to Monarch Watch, they'll probably take money for certifying any area that you would like to designate as a monarch way station, which is good because then people see that and they're dedicated to continuing it being habitat like that. I'm seeing birds fly through. Here's some, wow, really tall. We're gonna step out. It's just grass over here, but in the middle of the grass is, I wanted to say it was in the sunflower family, but maybe it is like a perennial giant sunflower situation. That's pretty awesome. There's a bridge over here, but we're gonna go around the butterfly garden a little bit more. It doesn't say that there's another garden over there. Here's one sign, African bush daisy Euryops, which is actually a pretty classic landscape plant, at least in California and sunnier places. I think it freezes out in colder places. This looks like lemongrass. Fun. Fun. Here's like random, it's a fern and also orchids. So you can plant, you don't have to have like single baskets of certain things. You can have a whole mix and range of stuff that's gonna bloom at different times and take up different root space and hopefully use the same kind of feeding. Here's a more of a Coleus. Not quite as beautiful as those other ones, but I think Coleus is a lot of fun. So yeah, they got the pole amphitheater over there with this little mound that I don't know if it keeps the breeze a different way or why they did the mound, maybe to sit higher to look at things at the amphitheater. But there's also this pole barn back here, little classroom. This is really pretty. Gets these flowers, these little red flowers. It reminds me of horsetail equisetum, but I'm striking out on the name of that. Maybe you can put that in the comments if you know. It's not equisetum because it's not as rough, and it gets red flowers, which equisetum doesn't really. I think they have maybe insignificant flowers, but that's a decent one. I'm trying to think of an application for it. If it stays upright, there could be a lot of applications, but it looked like it kind of flops like most things. Because there's some pretty narrow like walkway between a house and a walkway that can use taller stuff, but that doesn't flop. Here's a Dracaena. Nice ground cover. It'll bramble around, easy to keep sort of contained to certain areas. And here we go. We're going to finish up this section of the butterfly garden and go to another garden. See you in another video.